Alright, hello everyone. Here we are, Glenmonarch Estate, hole number 8, par 4. And in most situations, we're going to be, looking for the best route to lay up. Now, regardless of whether or not you choose to go to the right or choose to go to the left, it's really going to be dependent upon, the second wind that they give you. You never know what that's going to be. So, it can flip-flop around. Chances are one is going to be better than the other, and you just never know as to who's going to get the better angle. What you're looking for is more of a straight downwind for the second hole. And on the first, if you have the side wind going the other direction, you'll want to always be on the way that's a little bit more straight. So here you can see my opponent. Are they really using basic ball? I don't know if that's a glitch or if they really are, but they could be. What I'm going to use a lot of times when I don't need distance, you'll just see me use a navigator for this tour. So here you're going to see me just try to thread through here. Very little curl or anything. In terms of, to estimate the landing zone, I can estimate that it's going to be about 4 rings back. So I'm trying to basically look as this is going to be my landing zone right up in here, if I go full. Another thing that I can do is I can kind of back off a little bit. And you can see that's what I'm kind of doing, just to hopefully get a little bit less shaky needle, a little bit slower, better chance for a perfect ball. So here you can see that I just kind of shoot it up down through here and get it into a nice short iron range to potentially make this. You'll see more times than not I'll go towards this left-hand side. But as I mentioned, here's a straight wind. This would have been, straight sideways almost over towards the right, whereas where you'll see that where I am, it's going to be a little bit more angled towards me. For the most part, both of us are going to have pretty much a side wind here, but from time to time you'll see one, whether or not you go over towards the right or go over towards the left, one is usually more favorable than the other. For simplicity's sake, the straighter that wind needle is, the easier it is to hold it out. So side winds are very, very challenging to make. So what I'm going to do here, about plus 5% thorn. The plus 5% isn't really elevation based, it's overcorrection. So I usually play this very flat. Here you can see is max. Here's min down here. I'm thinking about 75%, somewhere around the fringe. I like to play about 3 backspin, so wherever 3 backspin basically falls. In the situation where it looks like it could get in between surfaces, that's the only time you're going to see me kind of change my spin. So you'll see me back off to make sure that I ensure that I hit the fairway. And as I mentioned, somewhere in the 70-some% range is going to be 4 rings here, keeping in mind that I'm using an overcorrection for the reason that I mentioned. Perfect ball. Let's just see how this plays out. Looks like just not quite enough. So, do keep in mind that, what I was doing wasn't really elevation based and that it was more just an overcorrection technique. I might have only hit 4.0. I was getting a little bit tight on time, and somewhere in 4.1, 4.2 would have probably been a little bit more spot on adjustment. And I was a little bit light and didn't really have time to sit there and press down a second time. You could see that my time was getting very, very limited and I didn't want to run out. So here you can see, just tap this one in. I'm going to reset to probably a wood. That's more than likely what I'm going to be playing on this